Upset alert, number 3 Oklahoma hosting Kansas State. Kansas State shocked Oklahoma last season. Skylar Thompson rushed for 4 touchdowns in that game. Spencer Rattler, redshirt freshman for Oklahoma, making his first Big 12 start. Rolls out, fires a dime to Drake Stoops, the son of Bob Stoops, the legendary Oklahoma head coach, former. Oklahoma 14-0. Third quarter we go. Rattler to Jeremiah Hall, corner of the end zone. 21-yard touchdown. Oklahoma up 28-7. And Oklahoma's a 27.5-point favorite in this game. So you're thinking, okay, they're on their way. 4 touchdown pass a day for Spencer Rattler. But the Wildcats scratch back. Deuce Vaughn, 38 yards. Shakes off an arm tackle. You cannot arm tackle Deuce Vaughn. Tied at 35. Next Kansas State possession. Blake Lynch from 50 yards out. 50. Drills it. Career long. Have yourself a kick, kid. Up 3. First lead of the day after trailing by as many as 21. Under a minute to go. Oklahoma down 3. Spencer Rattler looking to make a play. Picked off by Elijah Sullivan. And that seals the deal. Oh, that's how it ends for Spencer Rattler. No comeback. 3rd interception of the game. Welcome to the Big 12, kid. Kansas State upsets Oklahoma for the 2nd straight season. First road win over an AP top 3 team in school history for the Wildcats. Chris Klieman now 2-0 against Lincoln Riley. Spencer Rattler, 4 touchdowns but 3 interceptions. Skylar Thompson, the senior, 3 rushing touchdowns in this game and a passing touchdown. He had 4 rushing touchdowns last season when they upset Oklahoma. He has 4 total touchdowns in this game as they upset Oklahoma once again. Danny Cannell told you to take K-State. Well, Chip Patterson, Tom Fornelli told you to take the over. All of that cashes in Norman, Oklahoma. Let's get some instant analysis. First big upset of the college football season here as Kansas State knocks off Oklahoma 38-35. First off, BMAC, just your reaction here. That's 2 years in a row from Kansas State knocking off Oklahoma.
No question. Clearly, Kansas State, they have the Sooners number. This is basketball. Clearly, this would be the ideal bracket buster, right? Many felt like Oklahoma was the clear-cut favorite to win the Big 12, to have the best opportunity to get into college football playoffs once again. This is an ugly, ugly loss. This is an ugly loss. This will stain the Sooners' record throughout this season because of how they lost. They lost at home, and the team they lost against. Remember, the last time we saw K-State, they took one on the chin from Arkansas State, if I'm not mistaken, a huge letdown type performance, but they were able to gather themselves today and rally back. At one point in time, they were down 21 points, if I'm not mistaken, scored 17 points in the 4th quarter to come up with a huge upset. I mean, I think the Sooners were a 28-point favorite or something like that going into this ball game. So this was a huge, huge day for K-State. This is a huge day for college football because I know the college football playoffs, Hakeem, they're a ways away. But you will remember this day when you talk about college football playoffs and the 4 teams that get in, especially dealing with the Big 12.
Yeah, Kansas State, first time beating OU in back-to-back seasons since 96 and 97. And give it up for Skylar Thompson here, essentially the better quarterback in this game. 3 rushing touchdowns, a passing touchdown. Spencer Rattler, new to the Big 12, first Big 12 start. He throws 4 touchdowns, but he throws 3 picks, the most costly one at the end there to seal the deal for the Wildcats.
Yeah, this was all about turnovers. At one point in time, Spencer Rattler, he was 20 for 22. Right, the 2 incompletions were 2 interceptions. And then we saw the game-winning interception right there on your highlight that he was trying to force the issue. But you have to play sound football, especially if you're a young player playing against conference foes. And that's what we saw today. And those turnovers, K-State, they were able to create 2 touchdowns, 14 points off those turnovers. And that kind of jump-started their rally in that second half, the turnovers. And then you saw a block punt as well. So it was a bunch of mistakes from Lincoln Riley's ball club, something that you don't usually see at home. But they went through growing pains and they were not able to come out of those growing pains unscathed. And because of that, they have a huge, ugly loss on their record in 2 weeks, in 2 ball games of play.
Yeah, Lincoln Riley at Oklahoma versus unranked opponents, 25-1 against everyone else, against Kansas State 2-2. You mentioned that it's early, it's week 4 of the college football season, but could this loss actually cost Oklahoma having the conversation about getting into the college football playoff? Because, of course, we don't know the certain ramifications right now in terms of what's going to happen with the college football playoff, but you've already got 1 loss on your resume to an unranked Big 12 team.
Oh, no question. This is like, for Oklahoma, this is like having a bad pimple on your face, and when you bust it, it just leaves a mark on your face you can't get rid of. No cocoa butter, no nothing can get rid of that mark. It will follow you. And the reason why I say that, Hakeem, is because K-State, they already had a loss on their record. It wasn't like they lost to TCU, Iowa State, Texas. They lost to Arkansas State. So now when you look at the committee, just giving you my honest opinion, when they come to terms at the end of the season, and let's say there are a handful of teams that have 1 loss, right? And even if Oklahoma goes on to win their conference, if there are a handful of teams that have 1 loss, but that 1 loss is a better loss than what we saw from Oklahoma and K-State today, you would have to think they would take the other 1-loss team if they lost to a ranked opponent. K-State lost to Arkansas State at home. That surprised everybody. That was more surprising than what we saw today, actually, because K-State played well against Oklahoma and they beat them last year, right? So I think this is something that's going to stain Oklahoma, regardless what happens the rest of the way, especially if there are quite a few 1-loss teams in the other Power 5 conferences, especially the SEC, right? If the SEC has a 1-loss team that probably won't win the conference, they still might get the opportunity to get into the playoffs before Oklahoma because of who Oklahoma lost to and because of the team that beat Oklahoma, who they lost to. And we don't even know what Kansas State might do the rest of the way throughout the season.
Shoot, B-Mac, if Ohio State goes 4-0, that's all the games they get to play, they might get in. I mean, considering what goes on here.
I know you would love that, right? I know you would love that.
Hey, by the way, I just want to give some credit where credit's due. How about Blake Lynch, by the way, hit a 50-yard field goal looking like he's in the league?
That should be an unwritten rule in college football. Anytime you have a kicker that hits a 50-yarder, you should automatically win the ball game, right? It was like when he made that kick, yes, time was left on the clock, but you felt like, yes, K-State, they're winning the ball game. Anytime you see a kicker in college football make a 50-yarder, chalk it up as a win.
Yeah, have a day, kid. All right, there you have it. Kansas State upsets number 3 Oklahoma 38-35. What a win it was. That's 2 years in a row with the upset win over the Sooners. B-Mac here on CBS Sports HQ. B-Mac, thanks.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.